Satnam, beautiful beings, and welcome. Well done for showing up. Thank you. I know some of you can't have your videos on because you have trouble with your bandwidth. And I know one of you is not very well, so you're lying down. So well done, giving you a round of applause for showing up. If you can have your video on, it's lovely to see you, especially in this as well, because I can get feedback for the healing work that we're doing. So today we're going to be looking at ourselves through the lens of perfectionism and how it shows up in our life. We're going to be using a combination of healing modalities and tools. So it's not a standard Kundalini yoga class, but we're still going to open the space with the same mantras. And we've got some Kundalini meditations as well, and some energy clearing. And you will probably need a pen and some paper, so if you want to get that now. Let me just double check, because there was a few more people coming, and I know I'm in the right room because you are here. Oh, I thought that was a gong stand in your background, but it's a mirror. Maybe there's a gong coming. No, I don't know. I don't know. That's okay. So, and yeah, well done for showing up. So I know this perfectionism thing is something that we all like to bury. And I was with a group of people today, and one said, "What are you doing today?" I was like, "Oh, I'm working on perfectionism." And they're like, "Oh, I have such terrible trouble with perfectionism." And then two other people said they did as well, and how it just cripples them and really has such a negative impact in their business. And I said, well, I do have a group that has a free tier, and you're welcome to come tonight for free. And who from that group is here? No one. So it's like, we know what we need to do, but whether we'll do the work. So well done for showing up. So let's begin just opening up the space and being present. So if you want to turn off your phone, close all your tabs, close other windows that you don't need, tell everyone do not disturb. And just set the intention that this is a sacred space for you, especially if you are watching the playback, just so that you can get the most out of it. So let's begin by just being aware of our feet and our sitting bones connected to the earth or the chair, and allowing our breath to drop down to the navel point. Inhaling, belly expands. Exhaling, belly comes back to the spine. Rolling your shoulders forwards, up and back a few times, and lifting from the crown of the head. Bringing the hands to prayer pose, eyes focused at the brow point. So they're closed but focused up and in at your third eye. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Agarename, Jugagarename, Sagarename, Sirigurudevename. Agarename, Jugagarename, Sagarename, Sirigurudevename. Agarename, Jugagarename, Sagarename, Sirigurudevename. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Relax the breath, relax the hands. And let's begin with pranayam, just to empty that busyness in our mind, all that nonsense that's floating around, worrying about the future and dwelling on the past. So left hand in Gya Mudra, right hand blocking off the right nostril, eyes closed, focused at the third eye. Inhaling through the left nostril, into the belly, belly expands. Little finger blocks off the left nostril and exhaling through the right. Inhaling left. Exhale right. So just noticing that deep relaxation that comes on the exhale, where there's that release, letting go and just relaxing. Inhale deeply, hold the breath, relax the hand, relax your being, and exhale, relax the breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So, today's session, perfectionism. and not being able to finish completing things or starting things. And when we take perfectionism and look at our whole being and how we show up through that lens, it's a really wonderful way. It's like a map of where we are, how we show up in the world, and how certain energy systems are performing. And so I'm just going to share with you this map of consciousness by Dr. David R. Hawkins. If you're on your phone and you can't read it very well, that's fine. I just wanted to show you, so the middle two columns, the level and then the arrows. So down the bottom we have shame, and so that's definitely relating to perfectionism, and this calibrates at an energy of 20. And so shame is the closest one to death because it's that denial of ourself. And another reason that I'm showing you this is because I really want for us to approach this in a loving and compassionate way so that we don't start judging ourselves, and just to show you that it's just energy, and that we can shift energy with the energy clearings, with the mantra, with the yoga. There's so many things that we can do to bring ourselves up this level of consciousness. And so if you see as well, when I first discovered this, I thought that anger was, because I was working with someone who was very angry and really abusive to me, and I thought that anger would be lower on the energy scale. But if you think that anger actually has energy and it can help you take action, whereas fear, where we're stuck in these red levels and orange levels, there's this complete freeze. And so all the arrows from pride are going down. So it's these catabolic levels of consciousness that they destroy our health, they destroy our mental well-being and our physical, emotional and mental health as well. So when we get to 200, that's where we start coming into the light, we start coming into truth, and that's courage. And so that's what we all needed to turn up today, a little bit of courage. And that's what we need for the first steps on this path to wellness. And I'm loving those light codes from the sunshine that's coming in from Joanna. Let there be light. So if you then go in up the top, so underneath enlightenment, there's the level of peace. And if you look to the left of that is perfect. So the more that we come up these levels of consciousness, and I wanted to go through this with you today, I think we're going to need to do, as always with these sessions, I planned enough to do 3 hours, but we could have gone for 2 weeks. And I wanted to go through the levels of consciousness with you, but I've already got quite a bit of information and I want it to be more about transformation than information. So we'll have to do a part 1 and a part 2, because also remind me, when you feel you're ready, I've got this amazing tool that you can use throughout the day if you struggle with this perfectionism and freeze and not doing the things that you need to do. But it doesn't feel quite right to give it to you today. And I think that's because, you know, when it's not been raining and the ground is really dry and parched, and then finally it rains, but it just slides off. So we want to meet ourselves where we're at, and it feels like there's more clearing to do first. But when we come into these higher levels of consciousness, there's this, everything is perfect and there's no attachment, and even things that are painful. So I used to use all the tools to keep myself happy and feeling really positive. And so if I was tired, I'd do something to wake myself up. If I didn't feel confident, I'd shift it. And then one day, one of my teachers said, like, that's great that you can do that, but on the road to mastery, the closer we get, we find that we don't need to use the tools. We can experience everything exactly as it is. And there's this deep neutrality, and nothing is good and nothing is bad. It's just neutral. And I remember I went to a funeral, and it was very close family, and obviously they were very upset and crying, but I just saw everything as this expression of love and warmth. It didn't feel like it was anything sad. So let's, we finished with that? Yeah. So I'll put that up in the group as well. And I highly recommend David Hawkins. He was an enlightened MD, and I'll put the book as well in the membership because it's really profound. It helps you to just start surrendering to things. And I bought the audio book, which was really nice to listen to, because then you can notice, like when you're walking, you can feel, oh, this still triggers me. But I did notice, I thought I had been not listening and floating off somewhere else when he'd told you the technique to surrender. And I don't think he specifically explains it in the book. But if we're trying to surrender, we're still in the ego state of doing and trying to do something, rather than peeling away these levels of consciousness and then noticing that our innate being is already surrendered. And by the way, if you're new and I'm ever talking about things that you don't understand or new concepts, just well done for showing up. And I know one of my teachers, when I first started, I had no idea what he was talking about, but I did know that I felt relaxed in his presence, and things started shifting the more time I spent with him. So yeah, approaching this session with love and compassion for ourselves, and not to treat perfectionism as like a flaw or a mindset problem or an emotional problem, because as you'll see as we go through the layers, it's this multi-layered protective system. And when we know what we're looking at, we can use it as a map to guide us back to our state of wholeness and fearlessness and this deep peace. As with all symptoms, ADHD, anxiety, depression, it's when you understand the full biosystem, it's like, oh, well, that means that and that means that. And we can use, like with Chinese medicine, so with perfectionism, your liver energy is going to be out. And with anxiety and ADHD, it's going to be out. And so you can use this energy as like a portal back into these deep states of peace. And it's really important as well, especially when we're looking at, because perfectionism, if we go all the way down, there's these really deep core wounds, which we'll touch on tonight. But it's really, I've always been really surprised when there are really successful people at the top of their game. I'm thinking of one of the most famous comedians in the whole world, and he'd made it, and he'd been like the top of his game for years, and he still had this feeling like he was a fraud, feeling like this imposter syndrome. And so the closer that we get to the top of the mountain, and by that I mean these higher levels of consciousness, the easier it is for us to notice. So when we're at the bottom of the mountain, it all feels very real, and we feel like we've got this personality that's really suffering, and our self-worth is dependent on how other people think of us. But the higher that we get to the top of the mountain, eventually we don't have those thoughts of self-doubt. But just before that, even when they do arise, it's like, oh, well, that's just a thought from my 7-year-old. And it's just this echo, and it's just like there's this beautiful blue sky, and it's just like this little wispy cloud, and it doesn't have that harsh intensity that it used to. And so for coming back to wholeness and looking at it through the lens, I love to use Chinese medicine and Ayurveda because they are wonderful tools to help us accelerate our growth. Now, sometimes because the energy has shifted so much, we can just have a coaching question to change our whole dynamic, or clearing the Akashic records can really shift things as well. But with with the whole biosystem, when things start going out, the first system that's normally the first to go is Samana Vayu, and this governs your navel area. And so with things like anxiety, ADHD, that's normally one of the first systems to go, and then it's like a domino effect. Once that goes, then it just ripples through our system, and then we start getting other symptoms like fatigue, anxiety, brain fog, depression, and things like that. And the longer that it goes untreated, the worse it gets, and eventually it starts causing deeper psychological and physical problems. So by understanding our energy, things will show up in the energy field years before it comes into the physical body. So we have this really long window that we're not aware of where we can create harmony. And so I mentioned the liver, but also the kidney energy, which relates to fear. That's going to be depleted. So you're not going to have the energy to carry out your passion and what you need to do. And also, well, all of them really, but the spleen, the heart, and the lungs. And these systems get thrown out by busyness, by stress, unresolved trauma, and just mental loops as well. So then we've got obviously the nervous system, which is going to be stuck in freeze. And then if we look at Ayurveda, which is known as the science of life, if you're not familiar with it, and they say that it's the grandmother of all healing systems. So when certain things in our constitution are out of balance, there's no amount of mindset work or therapy that's going to help shift that. So for example, the fire element, if that's not in balance, our thoughts are going to be really judgmental and critical. So try not to have that perfectionism thing when that element is out of balance is really, really difficult. And the same with the air element, which creates anxiety, and we're kind of all over the place. We're not grounded. And then the earth element, we're just going to feel stuck and like we're wading through mud and treacle. And then we've got that tamasic energy as well. So that's created, it's a really heavy toxic energy that's created by certain thoughts and foods and actions. And it just gives us this overwhelming frustration and fear and inertia. And then what else have we got? The chakra system. So the heart, if you've noticed people who've got wounding to their heart, their shoulders are forwards because they're trying to protect themselves. Well, if we're already full up to the brim of rejection and unresolved wounds and the pain of the past, our system is just trying to protect us. So that perfectionism is just another warning. First, all the chakras really, especially the higher heart and the solar plexus. I notice when I'm coaching people, there's this big mass. So all those negative thoughts and those limiting thoughts are all held in little pockets over the body, which stops our energy flowing. And so the first chakra as well, because the first chakra is our our grounding, is our foundation. So if that's not balanced, it's like we've got a house on stilts, on shaky legs, that's just wobbling. And this is where the fear complex is stored, father issues. And so people with unresolved father or male issues are normally going to have blocks to prosperity and abundance, and stuck in those scarcity patterns. So that's the kind of functions of what's going on. So if you think of all those systems not being in alignment, and you're trying to do the thing that you need to do, and there's this negative thought saying, don't do that, it's not safe, it's no wonder. So I just want you to take a moment and put your left hand on your heart and just acknowledge and validate that we're not taught all these things. Most people don't have decades to spend learning all these systems, and you don't need to know these systems. We're going to show you some short meditations, even just 3-minute ones, that can start bringing everything back into alignment. And so just reminding yourself, you're not a failure. This isn't a mindset problem. It's your body, the elements, the energy was just out of balance. And so just acknowledging that now, giving yourself some love and some acceptance, and knowing that you aren't broken. It was just out of alignment. There's that Ho'oponopono prayer. You repeat after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So just drawing a line, forgiving yourself for the past, dropping all those thoughts of self-criticism, and just asking yourself, do I want to let all those go, or do I want to hold on to them? And just seeing them like sand, dropping through your body back into the earth to be recycled into love. I was just bringing in the energy as well of Archangel Gabriel, that energy of purity and light and sacredness and healing. And take some long, slow, deep breaths. And now just, if you're open, just say yes. I'm open to sinking down into these deeper core wounds. So we've got what if I take action, someone might say something negative about me. But then we've got the deeper core wounds of this exposure, the shame, which was calibrating at 20, and rejection and loss of belonging and humiliation. And so there's something about something bad will happen if I do this, like I'm in danger. And so it's this primitive nervous system layer of I'll be seen as not enough. Supposing I try my best and it's not good enough. The I'm unlovable wounds, I'll be rejected, I won't belong. And that's a really primal one. If you think the yogis say we've had 8.4 million lives to be human, so we've got all those lives as animals and where it's not safe to be outside the pack, because it means death, and I'll be alone and I'll be unsafe. So we're just feeling into that. These sessions go a little bit deeper than the other ones. We feel some things that we've been suppressing. So we're going to move on to a meditation now. And it's, where is it? Hold on. These ones. Sorry, we had it was planned and then I had some new information come through. It's like, oh no, we're doing this instead. I wish they'd give me more notice and not leave it to the last minute. So yeah, this one. Okay, we have a mantra, and oh, okay, right. Sorry about that. Okay, so one of the best ways to move through perfectionism is to get the nervous system strong so we feel safe. And this meditation helps to strengthen the nervous system. So we're going to do it to the mantra Pavanguru. So Pavanguru is this sacred breath, and all the wisdom is on the breath. So the more that you use this mantra, the easier it is. If your mind is having a little freak out, you can just take a breath and then drop into this wisdom and this deep peace and joy. So the hands are going to be cupped like this, and they're going to be in front of your energetic heart center, in the center of your chest. And the breath, we're going to pucker our lips like a whistle. So you're going to inhale, arms come out to the side. Exhale, you're clapping in front of your chest. So inhale out, exhale, clap. Your eyes are going to be closed, focused. Oh, they're just closed, just relaxing. So I will set the time because it's got a specific pace. If you are really burnt out and this feels too fast, just go with your own rhythm. So it's this rhythm. And then if you can sync that up to this mantra. Now inhale, hold the hands together, clasp them tight, tighten your grip, lift up milliband, rectum, sex organ, navel, squeeze, press your tongue to the roof of the mouth and squeeze your spine so the energy goes up the entire nervous system. And slowly exhale, release the tension. And again, inhale deeply, hold the breath, squeeze the hands, squeeze the spine, lift milliband, press the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Seeing that light and purity radiating through your nervous system. And exhale. Last time, squeeze. Inhale, hold, squeeze. And exhale and relax. Well done. Relax the hands, relax yourself. And letting the breath return to normal. And just saying, I am safe. And letting that echo through your being, echo through your nervous system. And take some long, slow, deep breaths. And come back when you're ready. So we're just going to do some empowering questions now. Or enlightening questions. So going deeper into the uncomfortable so that we can be more comfortable. So you'll need your pen and paper, and if you want to write further on any of these, if they bring up things for you, you're welcome to come back. I'll put the recording in the membership site. So just feeling into you being more visible, you doing something out your comfort zone, and what do you fear people would decide about you if they saw the real you with no masks and this unpolished version? And if you think of all the little things that your mind says about not being good enough, what would be possible for you if you didn't carry those beliefs, if you just let them go now? What would soften if you stopped trying to control the outcome? Sorry, I stacked you there and gave you 2 questions. So what would be possible? What would be amazing if you didn't have that fear, if you couldn't make a mistake and no one would say anything negative about you? And is there, actually I'm just going to put it on a really low volume. Guru Ram Dass has the wonderful energy of healing and miracles. And so if you think about your life, has your soul been telling you you need to, been urging you to do something, or have you been getting these repetitive thoughts where maybe you need to, I don't know, it can even be starting a new hobby. And is there something that feels like, well, I'm too busy, or I'm not ready. It doesn't feel safe because I'm not ready. So I'm just going to start clearing some Akashic records as well. Did we do all that? Yes. Set up. So we're just sending you a spiritual kick. That spirit saying, we love you, but get out there. And as I explained earlier, it's our whole kind of biosystem that gets thrown out by life and stress and unresolved childhood issues and busyness. So if all that was in alignment and you really felt ready and you felt like you were safe and you could move through and be okay with being a little bit messy and not being perfect, what would change for you? What would change in the way that you show up? Is there anything new that you would start doing? Is there anything that you want to let go of? And so we're just clearing, while we're doing that, we're just going to be clearing some master programs where people have programs running of, say, helplessness or fear. We're just going to be giving just a, so this is just a general clearing for everyone. We're not going specific like we would in a one-to-one. So we are going for, now these are a bit heavy. But they're amazing when you start clearing them. So we've got toxic shame, terror, spiritual suicide. So that's where we're not following our soul. Rejection, low self-esteem, insanity, oh, helplessness. All those are coming up. So health abuse, hate of women, hate of self, hate of men, hate of life, hate of God. So if you're not religious, by God we mean life, really. And then you might not hate women and you might not hate men, but there's some unresolved father, mother, friend, husband, wife, whatever things that we're just clearing. I had one guy, and so we're clearing discordant energy, but there's another chart that mirrors this, which is positive energy. And so he had I love men, and he's like, I don't have any issues with men, but he was saying these little mantras that I gave him every day, and he thought it was all a bit rubbish, but he came back and he's like, oh my god, I didn't realize that he had some unresolved father issues, as most people do, and he didn't realize that men were really angry with him and short and sharp with him, and suddenly they started being nice to him. So yes, what would you do today if you couldn't make a mistake, and if you were okay with being a little messy, and that there's no such thing as failure? It's just learning, it's just growing, it's just part of the success curve. Oh, that was quick. Make sure you've got a little bit of water or like herbal tea to drink. Right, are we gonna... So if you feel like there's anything else you want to write, you can come back to this. I think we're going to move on to the next meditation. Yes. We're going to have the mantra for Dandan Ramdas Guru, so the energy of neutrality, healing the heart, and general overall healing and miracles. We're going to do the meditation for the negative mind, and I'm going to go through some old stories, some old loops that you might have playing in your head about these echoes of perfectionism and not feeling good enough. So you're going to take your right hand, and that's going to be resting on the top of your left hand. And that cup is going to be at the level of your heart center, your energetic heart center in front of your heart. And your elbows are just relaxed at the side. And your eyes, they're almost closed, but they're looking down at your hands. And then you're going to inhale inhale deeply into the belly through the nose with one long, steady stroke. And then exhale, you're going to do round lips and exhale over the hands. So the eyes, they're just slightly open, letting in a little bit of light. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through pursed lips and blowing. Exhaling so you feel the breath going over the hands. And this exhale is really powerful because you're going to be letting go of things that aren't serving you, and just really forgiving yourself for being human. with all the things that we've been through, it's understandable that we have these feelings of not being good enough, where we measure ourselves against impossible standards. So just noticing where you give yourself impossible standards, and then if you ever do meet it, do you celebrate? Do you praise yourself? So just forgiving yourself if there's any unfinished projects or things that you haven't been able to start, and it feels like evidence that you're failing, and that's just another excuse why you can't do the things you need to do. And just letting go of society, what it says is perfect, by judging our first steps with someone's last steps when they've been doing it for 20 years. We just see people's highlight reels of them doing their best. But for us, we get to see all the behind the scenes mess. We can tend to compare the two. So just, if you're open, letting go of all those judgments where you've compared yourself to someone else. We've got a new healing symbol coming through. Are you overwhelmed by things you haven't started or anything that's incomplete? Your brain keeps on reminding you of these unfinished things. Maybe you've got 47 loops open of things that you need to do that you haven't done because somewhere a part of you was just trying to look out for you and do the best it knew how and say, hey, it's not safe. So just all that debris, if you're ready, letting it go. Okay, we have a symbol for healing traumatic events. So just thinking back to times where you've been paralyzed, where your soul or your intuition has said, oh, you should do that. And you haven't because you felt paralyzed. So forgiving yourself. There was some part of you that was just trying to protect you. And acknowledging that our brain has that negativity bias. And if our negative mind isn't balanced, it catastrophizes and goes to worst case scenario because it's desperately trying to keep us safe. And acknowledging the times where you were unfair to yourself. You've got this vision and there's a gap between where you are and where you feel you should be. All those judgmental thoughts that came up. All that hypervigilance and how exhausting it is. Feeling like you're on a treadmill and there's no finish line. You can't rest because nothing feels complete. Maybe there's no point starting because you'll get it wrong. Or even worse, you'll try your best and it's not good enough. And someone will criticize you. Maybe you had a well-meaning parent that just wanted what was best for you, but made you feel like nothing was ever good enough. And so your nervous system has just been running in the background. It's not safe. It's not safe. So just asking, am I willing to let go of all this noise that's not serving me? And what about the thoughts with your mind where you were learning something new and you were comparing yourself to you just knowing something to someone who's been doing it for 30 years? And you get to see all the supposed failed attempts, but it's the path to success, all that messy behind the scenes, not celebrating your little micro steps of when you did get things right. And so then there's some part of you saying, well, if I take action, I'll get criticized, so I just won't take action. And just how, if you look at social media, it can seem effortless for people. They're not admitting their struggles and their failures. Now we're taught to hide the messy parts and we can't be vulnerable. And just feeling into, whoa, I can take huge steps, and done is better than perfect. I'm prepared to get it wrong, and that's okay. It's safe to do so. I have a space for myself where I will love myself, I will be neutral, and I will champion and support myself. And just coming into that deeper knowing that that perfectionism that's trying to keep you safe is really keeping you stuck. So loving yourself, forgiving yourself, anything else that wants to come up. Now, wherever you are in the breath, exhale completely and hold the breath out as you lift up, engage your navel point, and concentrate on each of your vertebrae in the spine until you can feel it from the base of the spine all the way, it's stiff all the way up to the crown. And then exhale powerfully through the mouth. And repeat. Inhale deeply. Hold the breath. Press the tongue to the roof of the mouth and concentrate on each vertebrae from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, seeing it as a stiff rod full of light, pure white light, upgrading your whole system. And exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Hold the breath out. Engage the navel. Concentrate on the spine, seeing it as a rod, strong, full of light. And inhale. And exhale. And relax. Well done. So have a shake, have a drink. Just feeling into, oh, we have a lovely furry friend join us. She's come to give you some hugs. So we had some of those raw, brutal truth, ego dissolving statements, but I don't feel like, yeah, we've only got 15 minutes left. I'm not feeling those. I think we'll save those for another day. Should we go to the releasing ones? No. Should we go to the higher ones? Yeah. Okay. So, Sakriya, should we do the meditation? Do the meditation. Hold on, we've had a change in the program, just feeling what's right. Do the meditation next. Yeah. Okay, so, right, I'm going to put, you can just listen to it. I'll put the, let me make a note, I'll put the mantra sheet in the in the membership so that you've got it, because it's a really beautiful one to do. Okay, so the next meditation we're going to do is for the radiant body. So this royal courage, your sovereign being, and that fearlessness and feeling invincible. And this meditation is called for chronic depression, but it does so much more than that. And so it's really powerful for regulating your emotions. If you find that you're at the mercy of a temper or not feeling good enough and self-doubt, it's wonderful for clearing those things. It's wonderful for helping to clear your focus. If the mantra is new to you, you can just listen for today. And I've put it in the chat. On one of the focus, finish and flourish sessions, I've got it playing for, I think there's one for 62 minutes or at least 31 minutes. So I will put that in the, it's already in the membership, but I'll put it in the link below so you've got that. But this RSD, rejection sensitivity disorder, so not feeling good enough, and those deep wounds of I'm unlovable, I'm not good enough. And if someone criticizes you, you feel devastated and quite knocked. This is really powerful for clearing all those old thoughts, emotions and feelings rattling around in our biosystem. And if you have those free states where you can't take action, breath is really good, but this mantra is very powerful as well. So you're going to cross your arms over your shoulders and hold your shoulders tight. So you're giving yourself a hug. So not only does this mantra remind you that your true nature is fearless, but we're also physically giving ourselves a hug, telling our nervous system, you are safe. And just, I was going to say invoking these states of peace, but it's really clearing away the noise so that we can feel and know without doubt that our innate being is deeply peaceful. Now the eyes are going to be closed but focused at the tip of the nose. And as I said, if you don't know the mantra, you can just listen this time. Holding the posture, inhale deeply and give yourself the deepest, deepest loving hug. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale and relax. And now we're just going to close with some statements. So bringing your hands up into a V shape with so your hands are like that. And if you wish, you can repeat after me. We've got a symbol for clearing limiting beliefs, and it's the freedom pattern. So, I am free from needing perfection to feel safe. I am free from needing perfection to feel safe, to begin or to complete anything. I now trust myself to move forward without needing control. I now trust myself to move forwards without needing control. I am free from the belief that being seen requires flawlessness. I am free from the belief that being seen requires flawlessness. And I love allowing myself to be visible in real human expression. I now allow myself to be visible in real human expression. I am free from the identity of needing to get it right before I am allowed to act. I am free from the identity of needing to get it right before I'm allowed to act. I now trust my ability to adapt as I go. I trust my ability to adapt as I go. I am free from the pattern of avoidance, disguised as refinement and not ready. I am free from the pattern of avoidance, disguised as refinement. I now choose simple, clean action and lovingly hold myself throughout. I now choose simple, clean action and lovingly hold myself throughout. And now bringing your left hand on your heart, right hand on top. Okay. I move through life with easeful initiation, allowing myself to begin before I feel fully ready. I begin before I feel fully ready, trusting presence over perfection. I trust presence over perfection. It's safe to trust presence over perfection. Hold on, we're just clearing something. It doesn't feel safe to trust presence over perfection. Hold on. That did not feel true. And so some of these 6B, with these things, sometimes people come to free events and stuff they've been struggling with all their life or for like 20 years falls away. Sometimes, especially with these energy clearings, it might take a few days or a month or two for you to be ready. Right, outside. So we're clearing blocks to hope, blocks to joy, blocks to living our life, blocks to love of women, love of self, love of men, love of life. Reverence for ourselves. Blocks to success. Yeah. Blocks to vitality, blocks to wisdom. Oh, blocks to abundance. Caring. Confidence. Desire, not letting us live our passion and do what we love. Endurance. Freedom. Gentleness. Is that it? Okay. Oh, we're sending that energy. We're sending that energy. Okay. I trust presence over perfection. Oh. Okay. We're going to go a little bit over. I do apologise, but something doesn't want to go. And it's made itself aware to me that it's there. So we're not leaving till it's gone. If you have to go, that's fine. Let's see. Our present life programs. Do we need to research this? Yes. Oh, we don't normally need to research, especially for group. Oh, it's just going to be a general. How many things? 6. Outside. Terror. Sexual abuse. Judgment. Health abuse. Hate. Fear. Okay, so we're clearing that. I trust presence over perfection. Oh, that feels better. I trust presence over perfection. Okay, positive 80%, negative 100. Okay, clear that. Can we clear all this today? Yeah. Have we got one more thing? Yeah. I trust presence. So feeling into I express myself clearly and imperfectly. Oh, that still feels horrible. My authenticity creates more impact because I'm vulnerable. Okay. We're still clearing those. Ah, right. Should we do the 7 levels? Right. Level 1 is good. Level 2, no. High self. Let's clear that one. Do we need to do a mop up? Is that what? Ah. Okay. So just feel I express myself clearly and imperfectly. Imperfectly perfect. That feels a bit lighter. Okay, have we cleared level 1, level 2? Level 3 is still a little bit. Level 4, no. We don't normally do this on a group, but maybe because it's a deeper topic. Oh, something quite heavy is clearing now. You might feel some energy around your solar plexus. Maybe there's some tightness or some sensations. So we have Archangel Gabriel is showing up for us today again. So just seeing that area of light around the diaphragm area, that whole digestive system. And there's a nice white light shower coming in through the crown of the head, moving through the body, clearing and purifying. So we've done level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still some 7. Is there something hiding and looping? Can we clear that? Now this higher heart energy, kind of thymus area. See if you feel any sensations around there. Okay, right, we've done those 7 levels. Chop 3. Self-spirit, please clear this to the heart of radiant love. A new paradigm. Oh, I express myself clearly and imperfectly. That feels lighter. I'm happy expressing myself, free of my masks. Still something there. My nervous system, my full being supports action, flow, and expression without collapse or over-analysis. There's still something there. Can we just clear all known and unknown? And so I know some people are so incredible at what they do because of their chronic insecurities. And so asking yourself, am I ready to create from alignment rather than fear? Do I know that me being visible, showing up as my authentic self is safe? Yes. It brings connection, brings community, it brings love. Does it bring threat? No, it does not. Oh, another one came through. It's safe for me to thrive. This, what's the time? I'm going to have a cut off, otherwise I'll be going for another hour. That doesn't feel true. Have we got something else? Just this freedom pattern. Okay, so feeling like it's safe for me to thrive. It's safe for me to thrive. And my life, my business, my hobbies, my passion, they nourish me. My business nourishes me. It's not a one-way street. It gives back. That's that true success. Hold on. This is one more thing. Oh, this is a good chart to come up. Oh, subconscious clutter. Karmic beliefs. Oh, blocked chakras. Desire to escape. Our beliefs. Any scarring. Toxic streams of energy. Astrological beliefs. A lot of people put too much on the... They hide in the star signs. Oh, we got some heart valves. Do we need to know what they are? No. And some inhibitors. And some curses. Oh, we're doing quite a lot. Major beliefs. Can we clear all this without research? And the cellular memory. Okay. So, Archangel Gabriel's coming forwards again. So just seeing that white light coming down, purifying. And we also have Archangel Metatron coming through with his gold and orange flame. So just seeing that forming with the white light. So you've got this beautiful crystalline egg surrounding you of healing energy, just clearing up anything known and unknown that you feel like, this is not serving me. I can let go of that. Okay, that's it. Oof. Okay. Oh, that's good. That's clearing. I was like, oh my God, we're going to be another hour or 2 or 3, but it's just clearing now. That's good. So take some long, slow, deep breaths. Have a little shake. There we go. Okay, hands to prayer pose. We'll do 5 satnams. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to begin. They're just pointing out that crystalline light egg, Metatron's golden and orange flame, and Archangel Gabriel's white light is still just saturating your being, soaking your bones and all your energy systems and upgrading your DNA. Inhale. Satnam. 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 And repeat. I am bountiful, I am beautiful, I am blissful. I am, I am, I am. I am bountiful, I am beautiful, I am blissful. I am, I am, I am. I am bountiful, I am beautiful, I am blissful. I am, I am, I am. Satnam. And so it is. So, you beautiful beings, well done for showing up for yourselves. Feel free to leave any comments in the group. And if you've got any steps that you feel like you want to take within the next 24 hours is good, because when we have a shift, then there's always, we change our behavior. So feel free if you want to share anything, and I will support and celebrate your every little steps. Don't forget to celebrate all those micro steps as well. And thank you so much for showing up, sending you lots of love, 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 and seeing you soon. You're very welcome. Bye.